we doing, guys? And welcome to News Reviews. In this particular review, we're going to be going over the Vesuvalux 50-watt temp control starter kit. Now, they gave me a call, I guess about a month ago, and wanted me to go over one of their starter kits to show to you guys, and I agreed to it, and it's a pretty cool little item. When I got the box, they actually sent me two of them. One of them was a blue one of them was a black one. You can see them both here. When I got them, it was just before Christmas, and they actually wrapped it up in a Christmas stocking, so I thought that was really cool. Um, but I opened it up, and I was pretty amazed with everything that came with it. Now, if you remember back to the Triton, with the Triton you got I think it was a 1.8 ohm coil and a 0.4 ohm coil, the tank, and that was it. It didn't come with anything else. This one, it comes with everything that you need to start vaping right away, and I thought that was really cool. Now, in the package, you're going to get a box that looks like this, and it's got different compartments in there. But one of the items it's going to come with that the Triton does not come with is the RTA rebuildable coil. That doesn't come with the Triton. It's actually an item you have to purchase additionally. This one actually does come with it. Also for that, it's going to come with a pre-made coil, a new center pin, and then a couple gaskets. That's actually pretty important because a lot of people are afraid to make new coils. They don't know how to make new coils. Another thing it's going to come with is a different gauge wire jig, and that's actually pretty important because you need to know how many loops you're doing, what size loops you're doing, and this actually does that. Now, it's also going to come with a 510 thread ego twist adapter, so if you don't want to use a SubOhm tank, you can use a regular tank with it. And then it's also going to come with a 0.15 nickel coil and a 0.2 nickel coil. I have the 0.15 in my tank right now, and it runs great. Now, let's just break it down to its parts here, and just pull the tank off. Now, this is the Vesuvius tank. It's a 3.5 mil capacity, so I mean it holds quite a bit of fluid to it. In the tank, you've got the sleeve that's in here. Now, one thing that I did notice when I was using it is when it got down to maybe about an eighth of an inch above the holes, it wasn't wicking as well as it could be, and that was a bit of a problem for me because I tend to change flavors a lot. So when I have to add more flavor to it, I either have to dump out the juice that I've got in there and waste the juice, or I gotta find the bottle that I got the juice out of and pour it back in there. Normally, I couldn't remember what I had in there. I couldn't find the bottle, so I ended up wasting the juice. And you can go through a lot of juice that way. The modification that I made to the tank is right here, and you can look in there and you can see the coil on the other side. And all I did was I drilled one side, and then I drilled through the other side. Once I did that, my wicking problem went away. It was a beautiful thing. It works great. I have the 0.15 coil in here now. The other tank I do have the RTA coil just to give me a sense of what I'm working with, and I didn't care for the RTA coil very much. It didn't have a great flavor to it, but for me, I've never been a real big fan of RTAs. I prefer pre-made coils just because they're easier to use. You just flip it in there and you go. And for me, it's got better flavor. Now, not saying that this is a bad system. It's just not for me. I know plenty of people that use the Triton with the RTA coil exclusively, and they like it much better than they like the pre-made coils. So to each their own. I mean, it's not something that's horrible about it. It's just not something that I personally care for. Now, one thing that you'll notice about this tank, and similar to the Triton, is the airflow. But the Triton has nothing on the airflow that this thing has. If you look up top, you've got 4 holes, and you can see how they're adjustable airflow, and one hole on each side, and then you've got the drip tip. Now the drip tip has the 4 air holes built in there, so if you do want to take out the drip tip, you are going to be losing the airflow from the top. You could drill out the drip tip, but or you can just keep the regular one in there. If you do drill it out, just please be careful because you don't want to suck that into your mouth because that can cause some damage. Now on the bottom, you've got the airflow right here, and it is adjustable airflow on the bottom. But just look at the airflow on that, and you can see me through the other side. It is absolutely huge, and just kind of looking at it, I would say that the airflow is probably 3/4 of an inch long by 1/4 inch tall. And that's huge. That's a lot of airflow coming through this thing. And it works out great because the more airflow, the more vapor, and I really like vapor. And I really like airflow. Now, with the coil options that it gives you, both of them are nickel coil. So you can use the temperature control on it. But it's going to come with a 0.15 and a 0.20. I've got the 0.15 in here now. I haven't even had to go to the 2.0 airflow yet, or to 2.0 coil yet. So I don't know how that one's going to use, but I'm sure it's going to be just as good as a 0.15. It is a 510 connection, so you can use this tank on any other box mod that has temp control if you're using the nickel coil, or you can use the RTA coil on any other box mod if it doesn't have temp control. So you've got your options of doing both. But overall, the airflow and the capacity and the wicking of it now that I've done the modifications, it's just beautiful. I love it to death. And I mean, you can see how good it works. Let me open up the top here. And you can see it's got so much vapor, and the flavor is just amazing. In this particular tank, I've got Cosmic Crunch by, I think it's vapestoreonline.com. It's a custom flavor that they have. It tastes really good. It's got Captain Crunch flavor to it, and I'm a cereal freak, so I love it a lot. Now, moving down to the box mod, it has a 2,000 milliamp battery capacity, and it's not that big. I mean, it fits in your hand really nice. You got your fire button, so you usually just hit the fire button with your finger, or you can put it against, like I normally do, is I'll just hold it like this, and just grab a hold of it and just press the fire button and go. I mean, you can hold in your hand, you barely ever see it. So that works out great. 2,000 milliamps is quite nice. It lasts me about 3/4 of my day, and that's vaping on it pretty consistently and heavy. Now, like I said before, it is a 50-watt temperature control, so you've got up to 50 watts you can use, and with a 0.15 coil, it still runs great. And I've got this one set to 40 watts at 475 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the temperature control on this is variable. You've got you can either put it in Fahrenheit or Celsius, depending on where you're from. I'm in Florida, so I use Imperial, so I use Fahrenheit. It goes from 200 to 700 range on temp control, so it works out really well. When it's got a temperature control coil in there, nickel coil, you can set the output to 30, 40, or 50 watts. 30 watts wasn't really enough for me, but 50 watts seemed like it was just a little too tough. It tasted a little bit burnt, and that was probably my fluid that did that, because I've tried it with other fluids and it didn't do that. So I have it set to 40 watts on this, 475 degrees Fahrenheit and 40 watts, and I did test it from 400 degrees all the way up to 500 degrees, and just adjusted it slightly. I think I went by 10 degrees up or down, and 475 seemed to be the sweet spot for this. Periodically I'll kick it up to 490, but I like 475 a lot. Now, if you have the RTA coil in here, it goes from temperature control to regular, and then it has adjustable wattage. Now, to adjust the wattage or the temperature control, you spin this, you're going to spin the rotary 3 times counterclockwise, and it'll either open up the adjustable temperature or the adjustable wattage. So it's really easy to adjust, and then you just give it a second, the menu shuts down, and then it's locked in place. Now, it does have a menu built into the system. To access the menu, you hit the rotary button 3 times, so 1, 2, 3, and it opens up the rotary or the menu, and you've got your choices of, if I remember correctly, let me just pop the tank back on here so you can see what I've got going on here. And when you put a tank on there and you go to fire it up, it's going to ask you if you want, let me see if the old coil or the new coil. Well, this is an older used coil, so I'll just take the old coil. And what it's going to do when you press the button 3 times, it's going to pop up coil management, and you click that, and it's got temperature control coil or regular coil or main interface. Basically, what that means is you can choose temp control, you can choose regular, or you can go right back to the main menu. Now, also, you're going to have output for 30, 40, or 50 watts. Right here, it's got where it says manufacturer, and I'm not sure you can see it real well, but manufacturer opens up the menu of who made it, which is Vesuvalux.com, and it also opens up the serial number so that you can use that for authentication purposes. Now, once you get past that, goes back to the main interface, and if you spin it one more time, you can choose between Fahrenheit and Celsius. So it's got a pretty unique menu to it. You can adjust it quite a bit to fit your own personality. Now, one thing that this does have is USB charging. It's just a standard regular micro USB, and you can just plug it in with your computer or with your wall adapter and charge it up just nicely. One thing that I didn't care for is this particular box does not have a replaceable battery, and it does not have pass-through capacity. For me, that's pretty important because I really need one or the other. I need to have a replaceable battery so I can plug it in overnight and charge it, or I need to have it so it's pass-through so I can have it charging while I'm using it. See, with this, let me grab my charger here, and I put it in, just like a standard charger, and then it goes into charging. I can't use it while it's charging. Now, that's not a huge problem. It's not a gigantic problem. For me, it's not really a problem at all because they sent me 2 of them. So I have one charging while I'm using the other, and I swap it out when one goes dead. But typically, if you're buying one, you're not going to buy 2 for that reason. You're just going to buy the one. So future revisions, I would like to have either the replaceable battery or the pass-through. Either one would work. Overall, this Vesuvalux Starter Kit, it's a cool system. I really like it a lot. I've been using this as my primary rig for, I think I got this 3 days before Christmas, so it's been a few days since I've had it, and I've been using it primarily for everything. It's actually, for this, it's actually replaced my Ely 5-stick 100 watt, just because of the fact that this has a nickel coil on it, and my iStick is not a temp control box. So I do use this because the tank has got better airflow than my Triton that I have on my iStick. It's got the nickel coil, so I need to use a temp control box for it. And I have a replaceable battery, just like this. So it works out really nice. I don't know what the price of this is going to be when it comes out. Right now, they are not for sale at the moment. They are working on them. This is a test and review item, so I don't know if this is going to be the final design of it. I kind of hope it's not, because if you look right on the side, you see where it says Lux 1.0, and it's better on over there. And it just doesn't look good for me. I would like to see it have either the logo on the top or nothing at all, but that is a really, really blatant. It's just letters and words. It needs to have some kind of a graphical item to it. For me, that's just it has nothing to do with functionality. Some people don't care about it. I do graphic design, so it's going to be important for me. Overall, I once it comes out, I would definitely recommend it. It's a great system. I've had a couple other people take a look at it. I had the vape store that I go down to. They've checked it out. They like it a lot. Uh, they've actually said to give them the name of the person that they can purchase it from when it does come on. They'll be ordering it because it's not a overwhelming, intimidating box. It's simple. It works. It works great, and a lot of people that are new into vaping don't want a brand name, expensive box when a simple one will work. Now, like I said, I don't know how much this one is going to be when it comes out. It could be $4,000 for all I know, or it could be $29.99. I just don't know. But when it does come out, it'll be a great item. It's going to be probably not the biggest selling, but when somebody gets it, they will appreciate what went into this box, rather than paying for a brand name like Sigelli, Kanger, things like that, Snow Wolf. And that's me. I like functionality. I could care less who makes it. If it works and it works well, that's the one that I want. I don't care if it's black and blue, purple stripes. I don't pay for brand names. I pay for functionality and quality. And this has quality, functionality, and you can look at it. I mean, the sides of this thing are, they're probably a quarter of an inch thick. It is thick metal. I mean, this thing can take a beating. This one has dropped on the ground, probably at least 4 times, in the entire time that I've had it, because I put it in my pocket and forget it's there, and it'll fall down and hit the ground. And it has not done me wrong once. I pick it up, I put my tank on it, fire it, fires, put it back in my pocket, roll on to wherever I'm going. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this thing. It's got a great flavor, great vapor. It holds a ton of juice. It's got a great battery. I don't know what kind of battery is inside here because it is not replaceable. But if you really wanted to look at it, it's got 2 screws on the top and bottom, and I'm sure you could probably take the case off and see what kind of battery it has in there. It wasn't real important for me to do that because it didn't fall in the list of categories of care. Um, but yeah, I would definitely recommend this to anybody that wants to get into a starter kit of SubOhm, um, that wants a lot of airflow, wants a powerful battery, wants temp control, and just wants a regular starter kit. And one other thing that this thing is going to come with, it does come with a USB cord. It doesn't come with the charging adapter for the wall, and I would like to see it come with that, but you can plug it into any USB adapter of your computer and charge it up just fine. It charges overnight. It actually charges in, I think mine went completely dead, and I think I was able to charge it in about 4 or 5 hours from 0 to full charge. So it doesn't take long at all, and even if at half charge, it still lasts forever. And if you want the battery to last a little bit longer, crank down the temperature control, crank down the wattage, and you can have it last a little bit longer. But yeah, it's a really cool item, and I hope you look into it when they come out. I'm sure he's gonna let me know when it actually does come out, so you can take a look at it, and so you can actually purchase it for yourself. In the meantime, this is the Vesuvalux, the Lux 1.0 in the Vesuvius tank, and we'll see you later on. Have a good night.